Good morning, good evening, welcome to this week's Fiberific Live Craft and Chat. Hello, light in the shot, get you out of the way. 1 second before the live stream was due to start, I had to restart all the software, so that was exciting. That got my heart pumping, got it all going. Let me know how you're going this week. Let's see if your week is going as well as mine. Yeah, it is made of awesome. Just trying to keep on top of everything, trying to get everything done. You know the drill. Life gets on top of you. Life does stuff. So, excuse me. So, yeah, I have restarted it. I have gotten everything going, and yeah. Good morning. How are you going? What are you up to? Let me know in the chat. Now, I am in the wrong screen here and I need to fix that. There we go. First of all, I want to say good morning to Kelly, who's saying good morning, a wonderful people. Bianca is saying good morning as well. And Knitspin Girls Creations. Talia Deegan is here. Vampire is kicking in. Game Widows, how are you feeling? I hope you're starting to feel a bit better. Your body's starting to do what you want it to do. Good morning, Molly. Great to see you. Molly, I was a bit cold here this morning and I thought of you and I was just like, if I say it's cold here and complain about Queensland weather, Molly is going to just let me know I'm a princess. In the good way. In the good way, Molly. In the good way. It did make me smile. Kelly, you can see in here fine. That is great. I did start a little bit of the fly by the seat of the pants today. It is a bit colder here. We've been doing this stupid weather that's warmer and then cooler and then warmer, then cooler. And then last night, we're sitting there and we're all a bit like, cold, right? And Abby goes, it's 10 degrees, right? And we're like, no, it can't be. That's ridiculous. It can't be. And it was. It was 10 degrees Celsius. And it just got colder overnight. So, all the pets snuggled. Even my Queensland pets aren't enjoying the cold. This morning when I came into the studio, it was technically 11 degrees outside, but it was very cold in here. That's got a light shining on. I did put the heater on in here just to try and take the chill out of the floor. So, it's actually lovely in here now. I'm really happy with how I got it like just warm enough, but I didn't want it too hot because I was going to turn the light. There's a balance. There's a balance. Yeah, that's right. It's Brisbane cold, not Melbourne cold. That's exactly what it is. And let me just look at what the temperature is here now. It is warming up though. I will say that. Definitely cold when I first woke up. It's currently 17 degrees, feels like 15. So I believe the 15. I do. I've had to get out the slippers, which... that's a big thing. That's a big thing. And the reason why I got sucked into a book and I was under my blanket and I had a dog and I had the cat and I was all just snuggled in and then I've sort of like turned the page in the book and then looked at the time and just went, time to get up, have some breakfast, get moving. You've got things to do. Russell said, I'm scheduling automated backups for all major data groups. Just finished a week-long effort to get a new video out. Excellent work, Russell. Excellent work. Good morning, Dolores. It's great to see you. Molly says, I used to live on the Sunshine Coast, but I read without my glasses this morning, so even with my glasses on, everything's a bit blurry. It's a bit stupid. It was a bad decision. I used to live on the Sunshine Coast, but you guys will be cold there. And 2 fronts are pushing up into Queensland. I'm rugged up. Yeah, I'm snuggled up, big lap blanket. Because this is the thing. Last week it was like 28 degrees. So like we've jumped from 28 to 12 kind of thing in a week. And that's a big jump. That's a big jump, at least for me. Vampire says, not a great week for me. Lots of drama with extended family, but at least I'm getting stuff done. You know what? Sometimes we just got to take the wins where the wins are, We've just got to take the wins where the wins are. And it is hard to get through all the stuff. It really is. It really is. You guys know, it's not been a great couple of weeks here. And some days are better than others and some days are really not. Yesterday was not an awesome day. not for any particular reason, just my brain just kept kicking over, and like nothing particularly, nothing happened really. But like we were saying, it's just some days are just harder than other days. And one thing I do want to say is, can you guys see my Lego flowers in the background there? See these here? I got gifted the most beautiful box of Lego flowers. Now, I don't want to diminish all the little boxes that Abby's been getting me, because I absolutely love them and she started it all. But this was an insane box of Lego flowers that the beautiful girls at Caffeinated Crafters and my real life craft friends, they got that. Now, I went to Kmart and picked up a vase, because one thing I'll tell you about Lego flowers, they are very top heavy. They're very top heavy. But they're so much fun to build. And like, as you're building them and you're working out, oh my gosh, these are oars. There's one that's being held. Look, which one is it? Oh, these guys, these little blue flowers are held on by sausages. These are all pirate hats. Like, so there's all these sort of little different things that it's just, it's like a lot of fun as you build, like little Lego heads. Like, this is a purple Lego head just here with a little single marker on it. Oh, these blue ones are Lego heads as well. So yeah, from a distance, they almost looked real. Oh, look, I love them. I think they're great. And look, I love flowers, but my pet peeve of flowers is they die, and I have to deal with that water. Like, even if I change the water daily, I still have to deal with the water. And I can't cope with that smelly water. Anyway, Game Winner says in the bonsai tree, the flowers are frogs. Oh my gosh, really? That's so cool. I'm going to put this, and these ones over here, these are all the ones that Abby's been getting me, and they're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just, oops, stop spouting the yarn, okay? You can both sit there. So yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like I get to have the beautiful color and the shapes and everything of the flowers, and I don't have to deal with them dying and dropping petals and the, lilies, how they drop that dust everywhere. And the water and the trimming and the water. But yeah, they're very top heavy, and you need a nice heavy vase. And I had some great suggestions, which oh, Dolores, Abby picked up one of those ones. Here it is here. Hang on a second. She picked up the, I think, was it the baby's breath, Abby? Yeah. So Abby got the baby's breath in the Kmart brand one. This is it here. And it's very cute as well. It's very cute. But like, the little flowers are actually flowers. So that's something that's a little bit different, is I think Kmart have tried to jump in on it. And I think they're cute, but they are different. Oh, we've got these here. So I got a pack of 3 lotuses. So 2 are open and 1 is closed. And also a pack of 2 sunflowers, and they've got little leaves. Oops, get back over there, Bodors. So yeah, it's just, and I've just got these stuffed into it. This is just a cup full of like little toys holding all these guys in. But yeah, the Kmart ones are really cute as well. So many choices. I'd been avoiding, like, I knew this was going to be a problem. The second Abby bought me the first one, I knew, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble here. And I am. I'm in so much trouble. These are so addictive, and I'm trying very, very hard. But I did buy myself my very first box. So far, everything else has been gifts, so it doesn't sound bad, right? But I've bought my first set for myself. I've opened it just to look at the packets, but I haven't opened it to start building it yet. So I've got some cherry blossoms to build. But not today, because I got to build yesterday, so I don't get to build every day. That's the other thing I was doing. Each of those stems, I was rationing out the packs. So yeah, I think they're just beautiful. I really do. I think they're just beautiful, and I love it. Let's have a look here. I had a crap. John says he had a crap week. Lots of missed connections and expensive things breaking. My dad's birthday was yesterday, so I went to his favorite restaurant. Well, that is, I mean, I'm glad you could do that. I'm sorry, but I'm glad at the same time. Does that make any sense? That makes no sense, but you know what I mean, right? Um, John says a local yarn store downtown is trying to get a social stitch and bitch started. So I've opened and closed the store with the owner the last 2 Wednesdays. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Knitspin Girl says, my beautiful daughter sent me a bunch of flowers for Mother's Day and they were gorgeous and they smelled really pretty, but I couldn't be in the same room as them. Excuse me. That's another thing I love about these. They don't set my allergies off, which most cut flowers don't. Lavender does, jasmine does, and I have to be cautious with how many gardenias there are. But other than that, I'm pretty lucky that way. But let me know in the chat, is it just me or do like cut roses and things like that, they just don't smell like flowers anymore? Is that just me? Or are they being bred for, longer shelf lives after they're cut, which diminishes their scent? That's my guess. But anyway, trying not to be, picky about it. But I do love the smell of roses. John says my blue car is green with pollen. Oh my gosh. I've got water, coffee, and tea, and there was something on the bottom of that cup and it's now left a mark on my... That's annoying. All right. I'll just put that there. I'm so paranoid about having liquids around my Rodecaster, like my audio thing, because a friend of mine who is very talented at live streaming accidentally knocked a cup of drink straight into his Rodecaster. It's like, bye-bye $1,000. Oh, it's not just me, but the best smelling roses come from my friend's mum's garden. Yeah. I was growing roses here for a long time, and they were amazing. There was this one that was like a big double, and it was like when you looked at it, it looked nearly like a cabbage. There were that many petals. It was amazing. I can't think of the name of it. I think it was like a David something. Anyway, and it was insanely amazing. One rose could make the whole smell just amazing. Yeah. Russell says store-bought roses have very little aroma, but the ones from my garden smell heavenly. Yeah, that's the thing. The ones that I'm growing smell amazing, but I haven't grown any for a long time. I've got to check. I think I've got some really deep red ones. What are they called? I can't remember. I used to know all the names of all my roses, and now I don't know. I don't know if they're still growing in such a way that they attack my husband when he's pruning that particular garden. But I'm not sure if it's coming up from under the sport or if it's the other way. Let me look here. Yeah, I think you're right. The hybrid teas, I think they've got sense, but standard hybrids don't, and heirlooms are amazing. Absolutely. Leanne says, my sons both found perfumed roses from a florist. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm not saying they don't smell. I'm just saying the smell doesn't last. Like, I'm used to the smell still being in the petals after the rose is dead. And they're nowhere near as strong. But anyway, Russell says he bought custom waterproof covers for my DaVinci consoles after a $300 repair bill. Yeah, I've got the Rode hardcover. Yeah, the hybrid teas. I was definitely growing some hybrid teas, but I also had an heirloom, and for some reason my brain is saying the David Austin collection, but it's been a long time since I've talked roses. I'd have to really go and just have a quick look and double check. But yeah. No, when my Rodecaster's on, I can't have the hard plastic cover on it. But even then, it's more of a dust cover. It's not really a waterproof thing. Like, sure, if I splash water directly on the top, but the sides don't seal or anything. So, Francis, have an awesome day. Have an awesome day. There was a black rose. Nothing came close to its smell, and beautiful too. Oh, wow. Wow. I'm going to have some more of my coffee, but let me know in the chat. Do you have projects that you've got earmarked to finish for the end of the year? I know we're only coming into we're only heading into the middle of the year. We've got the end of this month will be the middle of the year. But I try to have a little, it's like a little audit, because I know me. I know that I just start 11 billion projects. But I do have to sit down and think about which ones do I actually want to finish by the end of the year, and which ones am I just enjoying, and just, there's no rush on them. I'm just enjoying them for what they are. But which ones do I want to just get, they've been around for too long and I want to get them finished. And I've got a couple that make that list. I've also got some other things that are much smaller, much more recently started, that still make that list. So let me know in the chat if you're in that. I bet plastic wrap would add a lot of protection. Look, it probably would, but it would also close up all the air vents. So I don't know if that's actually a good idea. Not while it's running. Let's have a look here. Dolores is trying to stay close to monogamous for her projects at the moment. Wow, I've never done that. Except for when I very, very, very first started, and I didn't realize you didn't have to be. The second I wasn't, the second I realized I didn't have to be, I no longer was, Bianca says, I have a project that needs the ends sewing up. I loathe sewing, but I'm determined to finish it at retreat. Oh, there you go. You don't reckon you could do it during a productivity stream, or do you really want us in your face? John O'Brien says, a scarf I'm making for Molly and Robert's mosaic blanket I aim to finish before winter. Fantastic. They'll need them because you get actual legit cold, not like Brisbane cold. Katie says, I have a grandbaby on the way. Congratulations. And so all my knitting and crochet is focused there. That is awesome. I love that. John O'Brien says that I'm currently winding a ball to try knitting. I thought for some reason I thought you could knit. I don't know. Mate, why did I think you could knit? Have you knit before and you want to try again? Let me know, John. Talia says, I'm making a lemur that I want to try and finish this month. And I want to finish as many blankets as I can before the baby is due in September. I have too many. Oh my gosh, I totally get that. I have about 9 whips to finish before November, so my pile will be half of what it was on New Year's. Okay. That is awesome. I love that goal. Because this is the thing, we don't have to get it to 0. We just need to get to a point where our brain can cope with it, or where we think is manageable, or whatever. It doesn't have to be down to 0. Oh, I understand. I was a thrower. Crochet screwed me up. Okay, so you're going to try continental knitting. Because, I know plenty of crocheters who are still throwers. They still prefer that style of knitting. I suggest continental knitting for those crocheters that can't get into knitting usually, for whatever reason. And it's just an easier, an easier step of logic, because you're still controlling the arm with your left hand if you're a righty. And that's why I tend to do that. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, you're going to try throwing again. Okay, good. Bianca says, I need advice and supervision. It's sewing up a seam down the front of the cardigan to convert it into a top. So you need mattress stitch. You guys are powering in here. Dolores says, I just finished a 4-ply men's drop shoulder jumper for my son. I knew if I put it down, I wouldn't pick it back up again. Now onto a large knitted blanket for my other son. Gosh. Oh, your W is sticking. Okay. All right. I just sort of, you went to the Chantel School of Typing. I can't seem to, and is it just me? I've jumped from Android to iPhone, right? Android would do better, would let me, I would type in a word, look at it and go, yep, that's right, move on to the next word, no problems. iPhone's yeah, you don't mean that word. You want this other totally random word that means absolutely nothing to do with what you're talking about. Now, I'm like queen of the typos. Like, I'm just like, that's close enough, whatever. But when it literally changes the word that was correctly spelt in a message to another word, I'm just sort of staring at it like, what the hell are you doing? And I have to have like 3 goes to get it right. I have 3.5 pairs of socks left for my commission. Wow, you powered through those this year. And then 2 pairs for friends, and then I can knit something else. Anything else. So are you saying you don't want to make yourself socks this year? Is that what you're saying? Talia says, I'm a thrower who also crochets. Yeah. iPhone, auto incorrect. Right. Okay. None of us are duck farmers. That is true. That's so right. Auto incorrect is so right. Can you not turn off autocorrect altogether? I'd have to look into it. I haven't looked into it. Oh, I just want to try to put my feet up on a footstool here. Possibly, but I haven't even tried, like, to be truthful. So I've got a couple of projects on the go here and I need some advice. So you remember last week how I was really grumpy about the holes that those increases was causing in my sweater? Yeah, I am always grumpy, Abby. Deal with it. And then sorry. My nose is playing up and everything. Oh. So, and then we had Caffeinated Crafters of the weekend, and Josephine pointed me in the, she sat there and showed me the stitch, and I was just like, oh my God. And I happened to have the project in my bag, so I was able to pull it out and have a go at it right there and then, like with the yarn, with the right needles, so I could see if it worked, because we know from last week that just because something looks great in an 8-ply wool doesn't mean it works great on a 4-ply cotton with 4mm needles, right? And so love that. So that was an increase that she showed me from Nimble Needles. I think his name is Nimble Needles. Is that right? I've added the link into my project on Ravelry so I didn't forget. And so I've done that, but something else happened. And Leanne, yeah, I agree. Something else has happened, and it's just because I went off on a tangent. So I just need to know if I can just fudge my way through something or if I have to go back and fix it. All right. So let us go to the, I'm not even in the right spot here. Top down cameras. There we go. Okay. So you can see here, there's no more hole. But you can definitely see where the increase row was, especially this first one, because you increase like every couple of stitches, right? So this first one's a very, very active increase. I don't mind the stripe, honestly. That doesn't bother me at all. And then I've just started another one here. You can just see it's starting to form there. And I've got a feeling that when I wash and block these, that won't, I mean, it's still going to be just as obvious because there's just a lot more stitches, but I'm actually okay with that. Now, what I've actually done wrong, according to the pattern, it's supposed to do the band for an inch. Right? And then there's like 2 rows of other stuff. So it was just like, tidying everything up. Like I was changing needles and doing some decreases. Then you come into the back here. Well, this technically into the front. That's where the stitch marker is. And you do all your short row shaping, right? So yeah, that's what these are. I'm not great with those, but I can tighten a couple. These are my wrap stitches. So they just need a little bit of tightening, and I can go in and tighten those. I'm fine with those. But then after you do all your short row shaping, right? So it's probably easy to see. Can you, I don't think you can see the line as clear. Anyway, so you finish your short row shaping about here, right? And then it was supposed to be basically like a row of knit and then this increase. And for some reason I had it in my brain that because you do all your measurements from this side, I had to do 2 inches from the edge before I did the increase, right? So on this front edge, this increase should actually be like this row here, this one here, should actually be only about 2 or 3 rows from the edge of the neckband. Now, I was like, oh, no, it'll be fine. I can just sort of fudge into it and like just make some of these future increase X sections a bit shorter. My question is, for those of you that are sweater people, if my increases were supposed to start, say, like here, and they don't start till here, is that going to change much, like in the scheme of fit? Because if it doesn't, I'm happy to leave it. But if it changes the fit, then I don't know. Because I'm okay, like I'm totally okay with everything. And then I was just going on with it, and then I went, what if this changes how it fits? So far I'm nearly back up to, like, I was able to sort of, you know, jerry rig it so that by the end of this third repeat, I'll be like this third section where you do the next load of increases, I should be up to the right length or pretty close to it. So instead of sort of like 2 inches of each of these, I'm putting in like an inch and a little bit, just to sort of keep them spread out a little bit. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to change the fit, or is it just change the look? Because I'm actually 100% okay with how this looks. Except, you know, I do need to tighten that stitch, and I do see that stitch and it does need tightening, and I need to get in there with the needle and do that. But that's something else. So let me know. Because I will go back and pull it out if that's what needs to happen. I will. But I would prefer not to. Let's have a look here. Try it on and see. Yep, we were frogging buddies. We were both rewinding our balls of yarn from our projects to frog them. That was so good. Leanne says you're gonna be happier if you frog it. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. I've already frogged it. I frogged it back to fix it, and then I've restarted it. Dolores says she's put it on a stitch holder and slip it over her head to see how it's sitting. Definitely not an expert though. Molly says try it on and see. Yeah, I've got some stitch keeper. We could do that. But my question is, like, you know, trying on this little bit, is it going to actually help us see it or not? Because I'm going to get you guys to help me. I'm going to do it right now. So I don't know. Get that over there. Okay, so it's just 2 stitches off the thingy. Right, I'm going to pop that out like that, just so that sits flatter. Oh, did I pick a long enough pieces? Yeah, that should be long enough, right? Would that be a long enough piece? Maybe it's not. Maybe it'll be long enough if I, you know, have the needle in one section and the pink stuff in the other section. That'll work. All right. Keep going. Take out about a little over half and put that onto the pink. I just realised I don't think I grabbed a long enough piece of pink just to put it all on the pink. Let's have a look here at how that's sitting. Oh, there we go. That's starting to do the curl, so that means it's fine. Maybe I will have enough. I'll keep trying. I'll keep going. It'd be easier if it was all just on the pink or all on the needles. Don't get caught. Crochet with Claire says, so that's how we use those cords. Yeah, there's so many different ways. Laura Nelkin like uses these for like everything. It's so good to watch her. Okay, I think that I don't have a little clip handy. Do I? handy. All right, let's glasses off. Which is the back? That's the back. Oh, pull my hair out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to our big screen. And it's funny because of the curling up. I think I'm nervous because I've got the ends of the pink at the back. Hang on a second. I'm so nervous I'm going to like pull them out. I've pulled my hair out now too. If I was the clips, where would I be? If I was any kind of clip, where would I be? The only clips I've got that I know of are these. I don't think so. It's probably too heavy. I actually think, like between you and me, I think the neckband is too tight. I think the neckband is too small. What I might do, actually, there we go, solve that problem of it popping off the ends. Pop the needles back in so we've got all that extra. That solves that. You think the weight of the shirt will pull that down? I hope so. Let's pop that over there. I'll try it on again. Now that I've got these, I know that'll pull the back a little bit, but it's better now. Saying that, now I think I've pulled them. That's when it does this, it's too much, isn't it? I've pulled it too far. It's overstretching now. There we go. Okay. All right, let me try it back on. Probably pull my hair back out again. Alrighty, now I've got the needles on the back. I'm not so worried about losing, because I was worried about losing the stitches. I'm like, don't pull it or I'll lose the stitches. All right, let's have a look here. Okay, so what do you think? Do you think we're going to lose? Is it too small? Like should it be? I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm asking. I've no issues with the line, right? That doesn't bother me at all, right? I'd rather a line than holes any day. But do we think the increases are happening too late? That was my question. I've got a feeling they are, based on how that was just sitting just then. Oh, I don't want to pull it out again. Let me know in the chat. Do I have to pull it out, or will the weight pull it enough so that the increases will end up in the right spots? Because it is cotton instead of wool as well. Because, you know, either way, it's time to put it back on its needles. Because I'm frustrated with myself, because this will be like the fourth time I'm pulling it back. Each time I learn something new, right? So the first time I pulled it back, it was because this bit was just so awful that the ribbing with the 4mm needles was just ridiculous. So I actually added a pile of stitches and ribbed with smaller needles, and then reduced it, like put the correct size needle in and reduced it down to the correct size number of stitches. Now, that doesn't seem to be pulling in or doing anything bad. So I think I've done a good job there, right? With it, just using, I think I'm using a 3.25 mil needle and bumped it up to, I think it was 118 stitches. So it's 108 for this size. So I think I bumped it up to the 118, which was either the next size or the size after, just to try and get a few more centimeters. I think if the increases are too late, it'll be doming a bit. If it lays flat, I think you're okay. All right, so my issue, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, so it's laying flat mostly. I mean, there are short rows here, and I've got it on like that. So, you know, allowing for the short rows, which will be changing how the back sits. I don't think it's doming. And it'll also be fixed up by the end of the next lot of increases. I think it's the next lot that fixes it. Katie says, looks quite good, but that collar will be sitting too close to the neck for me. Katie, I'm with you on that as well a little bit, but I've got a feeling that once the weight of this cotton comes in, it's actually just going to pull it a little, because I'm all right with it touching here. I don't like it riding up here. It can touch there gently and not strangle. No strangling. Just continue, it'll be fine. Okay, all right, I'll pop it back on the needles. So, yeah, because that was my issue. I love the color. I love how this collar sits now. I like that I'm using different wrap and turns than the pattern suggested. I like that we're using these other increase rows instead of the ones that left the holes. So many things I like about this. But it was just like, oh man, what if just me going off on my own little tangent? What it was is the pattern was over there and I was sitting somewhere else. I didn't want to go and get the pattern. And I was like, yeah, I've just got to work this section here now until it hits 2 inches and then I'll go and get the pattern. And then I got the pattern and I was like, la, 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 did that bit. And then when I hit this next bit, I was like, wait a second. What have I screwed up? What have I screwed up here? And that's when I realized what I'd done. All right, I can live with it. And it's also cotton, so it drapes differently than wool and acrylic do. So it will stretch out a bit. It will stretch out a bit because that's what it does. Is that a good thing? I don't know. But as long as we allow for it, we'll be fine. All right, let's get this back on the needles. I also need to trim this. This has been doing my head in. I've left a really long tail because I keep pulling it out and redoing it. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just leave the tail long. I'm not going to trim it. We're trimming the tail. Because it's just, like, I still want a long tail, but that was just ridiculous. Alrighty, let's go in. Grab our... Alrighty, back onto the needles you go. Back onto the needles. Thank you guys for being so awesome and letting me know. It is Bendigo cotton. Bendigo 4-ply cotton in colorway Arctic. Cotton Arctic. All right, here we go. We're getting back on the needles. I love these knitting savers. I really do. There's so many great uses for them. The reason why I keep going on about all the different things, oh, the skirt is finished. Hang on, let me get these back on the needles and then I'll grab it. It's just behind me here. All finished, all washed, ends done, ready to wear. I took it with me to Caffeinated Crafters last Saturday where we had our in-person meetup. And it was well loved. It was well loved by the ladies who were there. Wasn't it? Those of you that are in the chat. Yeah, it is. It's definitely cotton. It's a pure cotton, 4-ply cotton from Bendigo Woolen Mills. It will do some different stuff than acrylic or wool would. And I'm not saying not to change yarns. I do it all the time. I quite often, like a pattern or call for acrylic, and I can't wear acrylic yarn. I become an oven. And so it's like, okay, so what does this acrylic yarn do? So try and find an alternative that I can wear that, you know, will drape the same or something like that. But this one in particular, I just wanted to make it into a t-shirt that was cotton. I didn't really think about it any more than that. And I've come across a couple of little problems, like the increase stitches showing up. There we go. We're back on the needles. Pop you aside. Oh, I saw Dolores, that new mohair silk that Bendigo's bringing out. And apparently it's in colours that match Whisper. So I'm like, oh, I need someone to get that so I can touch it to see if my skin reacts, because some mohairs I react to worse than others. All right, let's go big camera. The skirt is complete and it goes fully to my knees. So I'm very happy with it. It's super cute. Been rolled up, so it's a little bit crunchy, but it was draping very nicely the other day. So sits very nicely. I'm very, very happy with the skirt. So if you want to get yourself a crochet skirt, go and check out Crochet with Claire's skirt pattern. Absolutely in love with it. Absolutely in love with it. All right, let's go back down to here and I'll just knit a bit because we're crafting, right? It's a crafting stream. I should probably do some craft. I love the skirt. The skirt was so much fun to do. It was, you know, like it I didn't allow for the fact that the acrylic would stretch, so I made too many what do you call them? Pentagon motifs at the start. So I needed like 5 less than my maths said that I would need. So there was that. And then I thought I was going to have to like do something to make mine a bit more A-line because Claire's looked very straight. But I didn't have to because of the like the fabric of the like the, how the fabric laid and how the pentagon sat and things like that. So I was actually able just to do the skirt as the pattern said. There was a couple of changes that I made. I'll show you the changes. All right, I've put I've put them into my Ravelry. I think I've put all my changes. Oh, my hair's falling out again. I put them into the Ravelry account, into the project. So hopefully they're all there. No doubt someone will tell me. All right, so the first change that I made was I made my pentagons a bit bigger, right? So that's quite dark. Can we break that brighter? You just went dark on me. Well, come back here, Logie. Low light compensation. Nope. Let's just. There we go. All right. So the first thing that I did was instead of making my pentagons like 4 rounds, I made them like 2 extra rounds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mine are 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 rounds. So I'm not sure if Claire's were 4 rounds or 3 rounds, but I made mine 5 rounds. So I didn't have to have I didn't want 11 billion little pentagons and too many spikes across my skirt. So rather than that, I went with the bigger pentagons, which is a recommendation that Claire has in the pattern. If you want to go bigger, just make the bigger pentagons. The second thing that I did was when I was joining on the waistband, because I've got like an hourglass figure, so big hips, smaller waist, right? I end up with like all my pants bunching, and like I was thinking like double layers of wool, draw cord. That's going to be awful if it bunches too much. So what I did was when I was adding on the waistband here, every second granny repeat, I actually decreased a stitch. So that one's got 3 stitches, that one's got 2, that one's got 3, that one's got 2. And I did that all the way around the skirt. So this doesn't have anywhere near as many stitches, right? So I did that. The next thing that I did was I did this slip stitch join to join all the pieces rather than the single crochet join that Claire recommended. And I really like the slip stitch join. I think it sits really flat and lovely. And then at the end, I added a border edge onto it, and that's a slip stitch chain 1 border edge. And I think it matches this pretty well. It's not perfect, but they go together. So yeah, no, this is I made too many of these, and now I have 5 extras. I don't know what to do with that. I don't think like this. I don't think this could take a pocket personally, because for me the pockets have to go down here, so they wouldn't go over the top of this because the pocket wouldn't be able to be open properly. They would have to come down further, and I think it would look weird just with a random, a couple of random things on it. Also, I wouldn't put anything in pockets of like yarn because they'll just stretch out of shape. So, because like I should clarify, what I put in my pocket is my phone every time. That's what goes in my pocket. If I have a pocket, my phone goes in the pocket. If the pocket can't take a phone, then there's no point it being there. So that's my logic with that. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I was seriously considering just throwing them away, so I'm not hoarding things. just like, should I just chuck it? Like what do I do? I don't want to keep it just for the sake of keeping it, you know? But do I? I don't know. like I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let me just go here. We can zoom in just a little. So yeah. Oh, Louie, are you coming in? Let me see if I can get a Louie cam going. Let's see if we've got Louie cam happening. I might have to click a thing. Click a thing. There we go. And there it is. Louie. He has been so funny in this weather. He's got a big thick coat and he's due to get trimmed on the weekend, like on Friday. And it's going to be awkward because he's going to become so cold, honestly. He's going to be a chilly dog. So yeah. Let me look here. But he's already in coats, and last night we put on his dressing gown over the top of his pajamas, right? Because he has a dressing gown. And he did not. He just nuzzled into it and slept. So, like, if he doesn't want something on, he tells you, like, you know, he's not comfortable. He doesn't nuzzle in and just go to sleep. So he has obviously appreciated the extra warmth. So, yes. So if you're here and you love having a Louie cam, pop a little dog emoji in the chat to say hello to Louie. Little doggy emoji. He's a poodle cross Havanese, a toy poodle cross Havanese. So he's little. He's fully grown. He's like 7 kilos or about 3 or 4 pounds. And he is a fully grown boy. He is now, how old's Louie now, Abby? He's 4. He a big boy. There we go. Louie love in the chat. Gotta love some Louie love, Louie. It's like, whatever, I'm sleeping. Stop talking to me. You're annoying. It's basically, Abby, stop talking to me. You're annoying. Okay. Now, the other projects that I've got in my, right now, it's just a mind list, right? It's just a mind list. But the other projects I've got in my mind list right now is my Tunisian top, the Muna Cardi. That one I would like to get finished. I need to block the front seam, like the front bands of my Jethro Cardi. So that's something I'm going to do in the next, like today, probably, hopefully this afternoon. Then we've got there's a corner to corner blanket that I've been slowly plodding through. I'd like to get that done because I want to have my own blanket on the couch, and that one was being made for me, and it's got nice weight to it, and you know, I want that one. So I'd like to get that one finished as well. Or at least I think the reason it got put on hold a little bit more than, because it was a slow project, and it was supposed to be a slow project, but it's slowed to a stall because I think I realized I never actually bought enough yarn for it, because I bought the yarn for another project. That project failed miserably. So I was like, well, I'm not making that. And I decided to make something else, except it's going to use different yardages. So I was just like, so hopefully I'll have at least a knee rug out of it before I run out. I'm not going to get the single bed blanket I was hoping for, but I might get a knee rug because the original project was a knitted project. So yeah. Then so there's this, the Muna Cardi, my knitted headband, which I haven't worked on much this week. I've actually been able to focus and get some other work and stuff out of the way. So it had a particular task, and it did that task, but it didn't get it finished. So now I need to finish it. And then I've also got a couple of pairs of, I've got like I was going to say a couple of pairs of socks, but I've got a couple of sock yarn projects. So one is a pair of socks, which is the socks from Lauren Nelken, the Larch Peds. That's what they're called, Larch Peds. And I'm loving those, but there's something I'm not happy with. So I'm looking at having to pull them back. So I've put that on hold. But I'm also working on another Muscle Burrow hat and love that. No issues there. It's just a work on it as I work on a kind of project. It's no issues. Just good pattern, good yarn, go forth, make the thing. No skills for me to have to get better at. So whereas, this one is a garment that I'm making for myself, and I stress out so much. I probably don't need to, but I do. Like, let me know in the chat, like when it comes to making like an adult size garment, does the thought of it not fitting or not being worn actually come into your brain while you're making it? Because that's what happens to me. Every time I'm making myself a garment, I think, oh, this one particular thing I don't like about it. Will I wear it? Probably never. And then it's like, well, do I even finish it? And then when I do finish it, it just sits in the drawer and I never wear it. Because I worked it out before I even finished it that I wasn't going to wear it. Katie says those extra pieces could be used for a doll blanket or maybe integrate them into a scarf. They're acrylic, so I won't wear them as a scarf. And not that I'm an acrylic snob, but this is not next to the skin soft acrylic. All right. This is not for me anyway, not with my stupid skin. So I wouldn't use it for that, but we've got 5. Let me have a look at how they would look laid out for like a little blanket. How would we lay it out for a little blanket? Because they're pentagons. They're not hexagons. How do we lay out pentagon blankets, people? I don't know. Because like the point of it was it went in a nice circle, which is why it worked really well. I don't know how to. There'd be patterns that talk about how to make pentagons into a project, right? I don't know. It's not a shape I've used. I don't think I've used this shape before. So it's just, it worked well for this thing. It worked perfectly for this thing. I just don't know. I don't know about that. Dolores says absolutely 100%. Bianca says, if I don't think I'll wear it, I frog it. Oh, you'd need diamonds. Thank you, Vanfield. I knew there'd be a way. I'm not going to be making extra stuff for it. So, yeah. Look, I'm even considering just frogging them out and using it as waste yarn for something. Just the shape's not conducive. I mean, I don't have any little girls in my life to give a doll blanket to, but so yeah, but I'm sure we could find someone. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think the little girl next door might even be too old for that stuff now. I don't know. Bianca says, I think a scarf incorporating them would be great. Yeah, but I wouldn't wear it is the thing, because it's scratchy acrylic. It's not, it's scratchy for me, so I wouldn't wear it. I also don't wear scarves. I'll wear a cowl, but I won't wear a scarf. I'll wear shawls, depending on what it is, and I'll wear cowls. But yeah. I always have this fear of scarves that I'm going to get them caught in something and end up strangled or something or other because of it. So I prefer cowls because, put in the body of a hat. What do you mean, Chintamani? I still wouldn't wear it. But I might be able to find somebody else who would if I could work out how to do that. Because, yeah, I'd have to look up some patterns. Because Deb said to put it in a hat as well, and I can't visualize it, but it doesn't mean it can't be done. It just means my brain's not there. So I know it seems like I'm a yarn snob, and I am a little bit, but I have to be because I've got this stupid skin that reacts to everything, and it's frustrating. Let's just go with frustrating. And so therefore for me to not be just constantly itching or, you know, there are some things that actually make my skin come off. So that's a fun one. Lavender does that. Good job, Lavender. Well done, you. So yeah, just I've got stupid skin, and so it's you know, you just work out what works for you. I've got stupid skin, stupid lungs, all that sort of thing. Oh, Chintamani has a new support spindle. Shock, horror, surprise, surprise. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought you were a Turkish spindle girl rather than a support spindle girl. So I am a little surprised. You need to give us the details. Where did you get it? Who made it? I need to know these things. Decorative bunting for the craft room. Yeah, no. I don't really get into that. I know, and I made one. I've made a bunting, and it's currently rolled up in a crate because I don't hang it up. So I'm like the least decorative, crafty person I know. Like, could it be used for something? Is it useful? You know, like I had to make a doily for certification, for Craft Yarn Council certification, right? And so I had to prove that you could make a doily, blah 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 blah. And I was just like, oh, I don't want to make a doily. I hate doilies. I don't use them. They just collect dust. I'm allergic to dust. Then I have to pick them up and deal with the dust in my face. I don't want it. But I had to make one. So mine's fire engine red. I don't use it. It's rolled up in a drawer. Oh, the supporters sucked you in. Do you know, Chintamani, I worked out, it's not elegant, but I worked out a method to do ply on the fly for support spindles. Just so you know, you just need a pin. You just need like a you know, a ball head pin. And you can do ply on the fly on your support spindles as well. A new magic wand, yeah. Oh, it has bobbins and breaks in half for travel and came with a storage, but we need a link. Oh, it's from Spindelian in Germany. I'll have to check it out. Leanne says, I made my sister bunting. Oh, I've got to sneeze. Oh, goodness. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Thank you, everybody. You bodged your way into ply on the fly on my Tibetan. Use a hairband. Yeah, I just grab like a sewing pin and just literally like that last piece that you finished doing, pop that through it and just stab it into what's already on your spindle. Or even just into, like when you're first doing it, it's a little bit harder to get that first one going. And then after that, it's just tuck it in. So, just the thought of it's making you sneeze. I'll tell you what, I think that because I had the fan blowing in here this morning, I think it's lifted some dust, like from under my desk or something. So yeah, I think there's more to it. But yeah, because I've got a little under the desk heater fan thing, and it blows quite a breeze on it. So I'm not surprised that it's, you know, it's made this room a little more dustier. I do try to keep the dust out of here. I've got my spray can, give the floor regular sweeps, and wipe down the benches and stuff. But yeah, we're in a very dusty area. Yeah. Lots of dust. Oh dear. You sound a little stuffy. Yeah, I'm feeling a little stuffy today. I've noticed it the last couple of days, so I'm not sure if it is the dust in this room or if maybe I'm just coming down with something. It's been a lot going on. I wouldn't be surprised if my body's just like decided, hey, look, we're going to give you this too. Like, oh, look, having your knees and hips and back go out aren't enough. Let's add in a cold as well. So, yeah. IKEA is tonight. IKEA at 6 p.m. Sorry, thank you. Yes, I was going to do housekeeping at the start. I've even got it written on a piece of paper in front of me to remind me to say it. And then I had all the glitches with the system before I got started, and I was just like, frazzle brain. But yes, tonight is the first Thursday of the month, so we are at IKEA. We now celebrate our third Thursdays of the month at Cafe 63 at Beanley. So we do move around, so you do need to keep an eye on. So yeah, if you can make it along, we start at about 6 p.m. You can have your dinner at IKEA if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to. We sit there taking up space in their food court area down towards the back, and sit and eat our food, laugh, talk, craft. We all bring our craft. We just sit there and have chats and stuff. The IKEA staff are A-okay with us. So yeah, we have a lot of fun. We chat lots, talk lots. Game Widow says, don't you curse me. Have you tried out one of the air ionization machines for dust control? No, I have not. Yeah, I haven't even really looked into them, to be honest. So I just, try not to move dust around and that sort of thing, because it's so dusty here. We've got a lot of road dust and it's just very dusty. Like, you wipe down the TV and then the next day it looks like you didn't wipe the TV down. So, it's just a very dusty area. I'll have to look into the ionization machines, but I don't know if it'll make any difference here. I think we just break the machine with the sheer amount of dust. That was one of the things I love about living closer to the ocean, is I just always found there was less dust. I don't know why. There's probably an excellent logical reason, and I just haven't thought of it. So we're probably at a point here where we can see that second increase doing its thing, the second row of increases. So I'll just get past that a little bit. Let's have a look here. So you can see here where the first row was. That was our first row of increases. So that was like every third stitch was an increase, and this one's every fourth stitch is an increase. So yeah, well, it says every third stitch is an increase, but what it is actually you increase one, and then the next stitch is an increase stitch. So you increase that and then knit that. So is that every second stitch is an increase or every third? I don't even know how to word it, but basically that's one. Like, that one's more regular, that one's a little less regular, and I think as we get further down, the stripes will become a lot less noticeable. But right now we can still see the stripes, and I'm okay with that. First stripes, then I do gaps. Oh, I didn't open my tea, and my tea was very hot. Let me just see if it's... I might leave that open a little bit just to try and... It's, when you make your tea and it's just that little bit too hot. Leanne's popped in a link to the Fiberific Fun Zone, which is our Facebook group. And we also have a Discord where you can jump in over there as well. Just have little chats, somewhere that you guys can all talk to each other that is not reliant on me live streaming. And I think that's an important thing. It's somewhere for you all to chat and to show photos of what you're working on so I can see them as well. Like, you guys will get to see what I do, but unless I've found somewhere for you to put your photos, I didn't get to see what you were doing. So, yeah. Now, over the next sort of 2 months, we might need to be changing, like we may need to be skipping a few productivity streams and member chats and things like that. And I'll try to make up the member chats, but we've got like a lot of family gatherings and stuff going on. So, and they're just about always Saturdays. So, I just need to have that little bit of extra fluidity just right now. But I'll get back into the swing of it, and I'll make sure that when things are cancelled or postponed. But this month's productivity stream is definitely off. And then also I won't be able to make it to the June Caffeinated Crafters like I thought I was going to be able to. So that is also off for me. And I have to check July. I'm not sure about July yet. But yeah, we've got lots of family things happening, and so I want to be able to be there for those. So it's just temporary, but I think it's important. So, those of you that are channel members, I'm very sorry to not be able to deliver your perk this month or your extra perk. But I can't do much about it, in all honesty. So I tried to sort of sit down and work out calendars and I was just like, I'm just going to have to miss one. It's that simple. Bianca says, I think I'll do that increase in the future. Look, it's super easy. And I think especially if you've got like this row here, like it was every second, like it's in the pattern of like every second stitch you do an increase. Like that's a lot of increases per row. But you can see here that this one here is already, even though it's only one more stitch, so every third stitch there's an increase, it already is less visible. Do you know what I mean? And I think with a wash and a block, I mean, you'll still be able to see it. Like you can definitely see it from the back. You can see where the increases are all happening, right? And you can see where my awful, I'm really not good. I definitely did not snug my wrap and turns up enough. So definitely need some practice on those. So yeah. But yeah, I think especially on those increases where you don't have to do like every row, I think they will, as these go further out, they'll become less and less visible that we're doing like rows of increases. So we'll see. It'll be a good test. And also, I'm using, cotton yarn. And a lot of these increases people do with wool, and the wool just sits differently and behaves differently and, all that sort of stuff. Now, I just want to check where I'm supposed to get up to lengthwise before this third increase finishes. So I'm supposed to get to 3 1/4 inches. 3 3/4 inches, I should say. Actually, I'll wait till I get around a bit more because I need to measure here. Yeah, I agree, Holly. Family does. Family does. Yeah. So, yeah. Let me just get past this because all the measurements are because we've got this at the beginning of the row, we've got all our short rows, so they take up all this extra space. So all the measurements happen sort of here, really. So I need to move until everything's off the stitches. A few of us will end this month's Caffeinated Crafters because you're off to the Crochet Guild convention. Oh yeah, good point. Good point. I forgot that was on at the same time. Maybe we should just cancel the July. Is it June or July? Whatever. We'll chat about it. Because I think most of you that go to that will be going to things. So maybe we just don't have them catch up that day. That makes it easier for everybody. Okay. June. It is June. Yeah, I thought it was June. Because I've got stuff at the end of June and the beginning of July. Because there's 2 weeks for my mum. So, yeah. Alrighty, I'm just about out of the way of this, so I can because what I want to do is the next, that's increase round 2, increase round 3. That works until we're at 5 1/2 inches. So if I can get this one to somewhere in between, you know, the 375 and the 5.5. So maybe even like bring it up to about the 4-inch mark or 4.25 inches. Let me have a look here. All right, over here. You know, I should probably stick a stitch marker or something there. Oh, Bianca, yeah, if there's 3 of us who aren't going, oh, I'm not going to be there either. So, yeah, those of you that aren't going, you could just have your little own meetup. So, yeah, so let's have a look here. I just want to get that through to the edge there. And I'm currently sitting at about that, what's that? 3.5 inches there. So I had to work that one until it was, I'm like, why is that not working on here? Here we go. I forget that I'm not used to being in the Apple ecosphere, and then, you know, if you touch your mouse, it could accidentally jump to your iPad. Did you know that? I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, Kelly, are you not going to the conference? I thought you were going to the conference for some reason. All right, so let me have a look here. So group 2 was 375, and I'm at 3.5 already, and I've only just started it, and I'm only half an inch into that. So let me look here. So that was at 2. So it's supposed to be 1.75 inches for this one. But if I do 1.75 inches, so that's half an inch. That'll bring me up past 4.5 inches. Which, yeah. That's all right. I will just keep going for a little bit longer. So what I've been doing is, like, you know, this one I made it like 1 inch instead of, you know, I said make about 1 inch instead of like the 2 inches it needed to be. And I'm jimmying it. All right. Oh, you're going to the Knitfest Mullaney, but you can't do both. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, so if I do this until it's about at 4 inches and have a look at it and see. So, because right now we're currently sitting, what did I say? Currently at about there. Currently at like 3.5. So give another half an inch and we'll have a look. Yeah, that's the thing. You can't afford to go to, like, we can't always afford to go to everything we want to go to, especially like with them being so close together. Like, we have nothing all year round, and then all of a sudden, bam, 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 within a couple of weeks, there's all these events. And sure, we could plan it and save up for it, but some of these were a bit of a, like, I thought they were a bit of a surprise that they ended up happening the way they're happening. Um, uh, yeah, so I don't know. Let me just. All right. Um, okay. All right. That's right. Then we have our retreat in August as well. But, you know, yeah, that's just another thing, isn't it? It is. They do add up, and you know, all this stuff has to be through winter. Bianca, you're right. At least they're not on the same weekend. That would be silly to make them on the same weekend. Um, it's happened before though. There's been clashes between events, you know, and you know, someone was like, yeah, but if you know, then people can just go to both. It's like most people can't just go to both. It just depends on how they run it. So, yeah. Let's have a look here. Now, I'd set up something to test out some stuff here with ads on YouTube, but it looks like that none of them have appeared. And I just checked the settings. And even though I said yes to it and clicked the buttons that said yes to do it, I didn't realize I needed to go into another thing and click it. So you may get an ad now. Not right this second, but soon. You may not. I did choose the least interruptive. I have options. Like, seriously, who would choose the highest income, most interruptions, least viewer experience option? Like, who would choose that? Now, those of you that have YouTube Premium, you won't even notice. That's if anything runs. Who even knows? Who even knows if anything's going to run? I've been very, very good with my yarn buying purchases this year. I don't think, other than when I went on my little holiday, and I did go a little hard while I was on my holiday. Other than that, I don't think I've really bought much in the way of yarn this year. I could be wrong. I could have just blanked it out. There may have been something. I'm just kind of looking around trying to think if there was something. There might have been some sock yarn right at the beginning of the year, and I did pick up some D-stash. Well, not D-stash, but I did ask a couple of friends if they had particular colours that I could get off of them. Does that count? That counts. So then, yes, I have bought yarn this year. But yeah, I'm just trying to, like, there's a couple of areas that I'm just trying to bring down. And because I did buy, like, last year for Christmas, I bought all that blanket yarn for everyone's gifts. There was a couple of those that I bought too much of the yarn for. So not all the yarn got used up. So therefore that yarn now needs a home. And, you know, we've got tight storage issues here. So they're currently just sitting there. They're just sitting there. Yeah. So I'm just thinking about what projects I've currently got going. I finished the skirt. I'm so happy I finished the skirt. I've got this shirt going. I do have a singlet top that I started. I don't like the pattern. I'm not how do I describe this? I need things to be easy, right? Especially knitted things. I need things to be easy. I know what the problem is here. I'm like, why am my feet get comfy? It's because I've got my slippers on. That chair needs to move, but I have to move it carefully because there's a power board right there. It shouldn't be there. It should be up on a speaker. Everything's wrong under my desk right now. There we go. That's better. It's amazing how much nicer your squishy footstool feels when you don't have your slippers on. But yes, so I've got this top. The other one, I think I've got a frog. I picked up it's a Knit Picks pattern. It's really cute. It looks really simple and really delicate. Oh, Knit Spin Girls actually got an ad. Oh, so did Bianca. Well, YouTube, thanks for finally testing that out. Vampy said, is it odd that when making the top-down jackets, I stop a few rows after the armholes to skip ahead and make sleeves before going back to make the body? So now I know. Oh, absolutely. It is not. It's not odd. It's smart. It is the smart way to do. Did we all go nuts on Sierra Yarn plus others earlier this year? I didn't. I know some did. I did not. Yeah. I got an ad at the beginning as well, but expected that. Yeah, so Bianca and everybody. So basically, these live streams are about the only income that Fibrific brings in now. Because, you know, the web store's basically closed down. I very rarely sell anything Margacraft. And so I'm thinking if I can find a happy medium for the occasional extra ad in the live stream, that could make a difference. And so, you know, that could help on this end. But I've also chosen, like, I didn't choose the most obtrusive, like I had 3 levels to choose from. And I think I chose the least intrusive. So that's like the least frequent. So that's good as well. But the other thing was, the reason why I'm testing it now is YouTube. I wanted to know, like, those of you that got the ad, did it come off to the side or did it just play like it normally does? Because YouTube's testing a thing, and I don't know if I've got it until we test it, where it actually does like a dual screen thing and splits the monitor. So you get half of my live stream, half of the ad. So you can still see what's going on. You get the audio from the ad, but you can still see what's happening in the live stream. I actually think that's a pretty cool way to do it. I was completely gone. All right, so I don't have that. I'm not in part of that test. Well, that's a bum. I would have liked to have been part of that test, but I'm probably not part of the test because I didn't have ads active on my live streams. So that's possibly what it was. But yeah, it was completely gone. All right. But yeah, so those of you that have YouTube Premium, you wouldn't have gotten an ad, and it just would have been, you know, stuff as usual. So, yeah. Leanne says, I've marked out the 23rd and 24th of August for the Queensland Knit Fest. So is that the weekend after our retreat? That sounds like the weekend after. Okay. I didn't realize that was so close. We might have to be careful of that when booking future retreat dates. Was it always that close? Dolores, if you skip, that's correct. I don't. But also, it's not, how do I put this? Telling somebody to watch an ad when they're not interested in whatever that ad is actually just as bad. YouTube can actually get really, really like funny about things like that. So I can't actually say to do that. But I also wouldn't, because I am just testing something out here. So, but I appreciate you actually watching it. Oh, okay. It's the first year for that event. Okay. Well, that would explain why the retreat ended up so close to it, because I thought I'd tried to put the retreat away from the other events, but you know, maybe not. The other catch is that the venue that we booked the retreat at is normally so busy, we don't usually get much choice of dates. A Yarn Fest, sorry, not Knit Fest. I think that's where I got confused, because I thought Knit Fest was on in June or July. But there's Yarn Fest, okay. So, yeah. There's just so much. Look, I'm not going to complain. We were complaining for so long that there was no yarn events in Queensland, and now all of a sudden there's a ton, and I'm like, I'm keeping quiet, because that's exactly what we wanted. They just happen to be all within the same 4 weeks. It's because we just don't get that much cold time in Queensland. It's like, who actually gets to have their event in winter? We won't know until it happens. Is August still winter? Sometimes. Sometimes August is still winter. It's still windy. That's normally when we have the worst winds is in August. So, yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, and Leanne, thank you for dropping that Buy Me a Coffee link. I appreciate that. Oh dear. All right. Let's. I really like this increase. I really like it a lot. And I think if I was working in wool, it'd probably be even less visible. And as I said before, I think as they get further and further apart, it'll be less visible as well. Are there any websites or posts about Yarnfest? I can't see anything. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. All I know is what Leanne's told us. and what's in the messenger group. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. If anyone wants me to show them how to do this increase, I can. I've got some yarn and needles here. I could show. It's surprising. It's surprisingly easy. You know, and I personally think that unless I need like leaning stitches, I'm going to use it instead of make one left and rights and things like that. I hate make one left and rights. I wonder if it works on a purl row. It'd have to work on a purl row, wouldn't it? I would think it would. Not that we normally do much in the way of increasing or decreasing on purl rows, but it does happen. Oh, you'd use it instead of knit front and back? Absolutely, I would use it instead of knit front and back for sure. Because you always end up with that little purl bump with knit front and backs. Although I did see an instructional for that knit front and back where if you actually just slip the back stitch and then when you come back and purl, like do your purl row or your next row, then you knit it and you don't end up with the bump. You sort of knit front and then scoop the back across. It's nearly, do you know what? It's actually nearly like another version of this one that I just did. Actually, now that I think about it. Very, very similar actions, but just across 2 rows instead of 1. What increase is it? I don't actually know what the increase is called. Nimble Needles has a video with a whole pile of increases, and it's one of his. Oh, well, I say one of his. He probably learnt it from somewhere. But yeah, there is an event calendar in Discord. I haven't thought to put in yarn events into it. I've just put in our meeting times, but we could look at adding the yarn events to it. That would make sense. At least the Australian yarn events anyway. But yeah, I can show it. Where's chunkier yarn? Chunky yarn. Oh, look at this. I happen to have had some stitches here earlier. Oh, what size are you? You might be a bit small. What are you? You'll do. Alrighty, let me just pick up these stitches so I don't have to go in and knit everything all over again. All right, Sal's creation. Sal, it's good to see you. Okay, so there's the yarn there. All right, I think we're set up. All right. Just woke up, so you're lurking? Yeah. Okay, now let me just see. Can I zoom in any more here? Let's go to that one there. Where's the Logitech controller? That one will give us better light. And can we zoom? There we go. We've got a bit of extra zoom there. All right. So when we're doing this particular one that I'm doing here, so the Nimble Knitters one, just knit across a couple of stitches, right? Just so we're not right on top of everything. And then you get to the stitch that you want to, do your lifted stitch or whatever it is and then you pick it up like you're going to purl, lift it off, and then go over the back and see how you've got sort of pull both legs over, kind of like when you're doing a wrap and turn. So you kind of just put your needle behind both legs, and then you knit that first leg like so, and just be careful to have that one drop off. Then come around and knit the second leg, and that's the increase. So then I'll just knit across a couple more, and we'll do it again. So pick it up like you're going to, and you slide it to the other needle. Then you get your needle in behind it with both legs are there now. And then you drop that one off and then come back and then knit from the front. So it gives the twist, a little twist to the stitch, and knit that one and then knit across. We'll quickly purl back so we can have a look. But it creates like, because I've actually done it further down here. This was what I tested on. And you can barely see where the increases, yeah, German short row, thank you. You can barely see where the increases are. So let me just purl across this row. Hello. You breathe loud when you're snorking. What's wrong? Okay. All right. Don't give him my giraffe. That's my giraffe.
I made a giraffe.
Oh, okay. Asia Brill might have invented this type of increase, but she does a double wrap on one row and creates the twin crease on the next. Stop that. I'll thank you for that link. I'll definitely go and check that, Josephine, because Josephine was the one who showed me this one. And so if you can sort of see here that we do have those two increases, but you kind of got to look for them. They're sort of like, they're over here. Let me just see if I can. They're there. And then the next one is here. So they're a lot more invisible. And then the other one that I saw, which is similar, is that when you come, I'll just get past these ones that we just did, just so I'm not accidentally working directly over the top of them. I'll move to the other side where there's less of this going on. And then so you sort of knit front, and then you scoot back off and leave it there and knit across, right? And then you knit front and you scoop the back off. Oops. Scoop the back off. Automatic habit, tried to knit it, then knit across. And then when you come back on your purl row, you purl into all the stitches. So here we've got two very close together. We have to make sure we purl into both. And then over to the next one. And there we are. See how we've got the two stitches very close together again there and there. Oops, there and there. Then we purl both of those off individually. And then we flip it over. We'll just get to the end of the row and then we'll flip it over. And we'll have a look at what they look like. Oh, my tummy is doing a song. Thanks, tummy. All right. And then over here, it's a little, see, these ones are just, they appear to be a little bit more open. You can see, where's the camera? You can see that they're just a bit more open there. I think that the first ones that we did aren't as open, so that's more open there. So I think for these ones, like, where do we do those increases on that half? I think I like that, the where are the increases game. But anyway, we have so many choices, and we can choose the ones that work for our current project and where our brain can fit. And yeah. Oh yeah, thank you, Kelly. That's a great suggestion. Over on the Fibrific Discord, we do have a couple of channels there. One's for knitting resources and one's for crochet resources. So when we come across a video tutorial on how to do something like these increases that don't leave gaping holes, I've added that over there. you know. So we've got some things over in there. There's not many. It's still a relatively unused part of our Discord. But if you've got a particular technique that's been a game changer for you, feel free to go and share the video or the website or wherever it is that you get the information from. Feel free to put that into the Discord channel for knitting or crochet resources, depending on which one it's for. So yeah, go over and join the Fibrific Discord, jump in. If you're a channel member and you've joined the Fibrific Discord, you'll get access to an extra section of where we have our catch-up calls and things like that. Oh, thank you for bringing him back. Oh. So yeah, so I want to finish this top. I want to finish my purple whisper top, cardigan, I should say. I would like to complete my red, white, and blue blanket. My mustard headband. Those are things that I currently have uncompleted or incomplete that I would like to see complete before the end of the year. I'd actually like to see some of them complete well before the end of the year. All right, let's have a look where we're up to here. So we've gone up to, we're about at the 375 now, which is where this increase is supposed to finish. But what I'll do is I'll add in like an extra 2 rows and then make the next section 2 rows shorter, and then we'll be evened out. We will have balanced out the fact that Chantel can't read a pattern, and I should have started the increases up here instead of here. We'll get there. We'll get there. So 2 more rows. 2 more rows is what I want to do. Does anyone else jiggery pokery the patterns like this, or is it just me? You know, the rest of you just read the pattern properly and just do what it says, and not just go off on your own little adventure and then realize you screwed it up and go back and try to fix it. Welcome to my life. Like, I try to do everything else in such like pristine order, and then when it comes to my crafting, I'm just like, gay abandon. Whatever will be, will be. This t-shirt may not fit. Let's see. Okay, Sarah. As long as I amuse myself, I suppose. That's what it boils down to. That probably can shut now. We don't want it too cold. We just wanted it to be not quite mouth burny. Bempy says I mostly just adjust to suit me. Yeah, I always have to make some adjustments, especially around the arms. And I'm always a bit nervous. This is why I don't do a lot of these sort of yoke tops, because they're normally a lot more restricted around the arm area. But I'm going to give this one a red hot go and see if I can't jiggery pokery it and make it do what I want it to do. Knitspin Girl says, I almost never knit a pattern exactly as written. Sometimes it comes back to bite me. Yeah, and that's my concern. Like, if I've made something before, it's the same when I'm cooking. I tend to make a recipe the first time as close to the recipe as I can. You know, they never seem to put in enough garlic. I've always got to fix that. But, you know, just go in and make it as close to the recipe as I can. And then after I've eaten it, I'll be like, this would work. You know, this other thing could also work, or this could work better, or whatever, and then tweak and play with it. But I like to at least make it the correct way, or the written way, at least once, so I can understand what it is that I'm changing. And I think that's sort of like something like an allegory for my life. More garlic, no coriander, says John. I am luckily not one of these soapy coriander peeps. I actually quite enjoy coriander. However, my daughter doesn't like coriander. I don't know if it tastes like soap to her or not, or if she just doesn't like it because it's like she's just said it's the devil's vegetable. Um, I don't, but she's also very particular flavors. Like Abby firmly believes that butter chicken is spicy. It's so not. So like we have to take it with a grain of salt. I've just been called out for being a mutant because I'm one of the non-soapy coriander eaters. I have mutated DNA. Well, apparently I'm like alien because of like my blood type. Yeah, the non-soap people are mutants. I agree with you. Like I've seen I've watched and seen the stuff. So yeah. Yeah, I read somewhere that like my blood type is like off from not of this world or some crap like that. I'm just like, oh, so I'm an alien mutant now. So that's cool. Cool. I'll take it. Explain some stuff. Yeah, Bianca says I love coriander. Me too. Oh, it's so good. Like when I make up like sometimes I'll make up like a fresh salsa to go with my with like tacos and stuff and burrito bowls, and I'll just get like an entire bunch of coriander and add that because Abby won't eat it anyway because it's got tomato in it. She doesn't eat tomato either because I don't know what I did wrong. Anyway, I did something wrong in her upbringing. She doesn't like food. Um, but yeah, it's so I don't have to limit my coriander in my fresh salsa of because Abby doesn't eat it anyway because it's got tomato in it. So I can go hard with the tomato and the coriander and the lime juice and deliciousness, corn. So good. Anyway, I could really use a bowl of that right now and some crackers and some guacamole. That's what I'd like. Crackers or corn chips, guacamole, and some fresh salsa, like salsa verde, with no onion in it. I don't like uncooked onion. Alrighty, I think are we on to the second round of that or the first round finally? Let's measury do. Measury do. Alright, so that's the mark there. Alright, yeah, no, we're up to our next increase. You guys will get to see how these increase rounds work. Let's have a look here. Increase round 3. Okay, so we knit 4. And then increase. Oops. So what I've been having to do to get the right stitch counts is because I'm doing a different kind of increase than what they recommend. Because I've got to get this, like one of these is the increase and one of that's the knit and that's the increase. So I have to go, okay, so it says knit 4 then increase. I've got to knit 3 then get ready to knit the 4th and then increase. And that's been a little bit of, my brain's had to get around that, but otherwise I just wasn't getting the right stitch counts. I just wasn't doing the increases often enough. Lime and chili, one of my one of the rice bowls you do, and now I do too. Yep, love a rice bowl. I dated a high school biology teacher, and she got me a pack of these little test papers to test if people are mutants. Oh dear. What sort of mutations are you looking for? Is it just the coriander mutation, or are there others as well that these little test packets sorted out? Oh, the taster gene. Yeah, so this increases a lot less more often. And then the one after it is every 9 stitches. So it really spreads them out a lot more. So they'll get less and less visible. So that's cool. There we go. We'll get there. We'll get all the increases done. Yeah, I like this increase. I was watching this video the other day. It was nothing to do with Yarncraft, and they kept going, "Oh, I miss, you know, that there's a part in their car that was broken. I miss this. I miss this. I miss this. I miss this." And they said it about 11 billion times during the episode, and I was having a giggle about it. Like, that's a lot. Oh, let me guess, he misses the lockers. No, rear steer. He misses the rear steer. And I'm like, I'm sitting here like, I love this increase. I love this increase. I love this thing. Every time I look at it, and I'm like, okay, all right, I get why he was doing it now. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Like, not to say that there's no place for increasing with, like, you know, open lacy stitches. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that for me, for how I like to wear garments, this is working better for this particular project. I consider my butt covered on that one. For next time when I'm doing a pattern and someone's like, oh my God, you're doing open increases. I thought you hated those. I do for some things, for some areas of garments and stuff. And sometimes those open stitches don't just increase your stitch, they also give you a lot more space. Whereas this one didn't. It wasn't supposed to. So I don't feel like I'm taking away, you know, like once I block it, am I taking away required positive ease? Do you know what I mean? Because you have to just be careful the kinds of stitches you're replacing and what those the purpose of those stitches. But I think in this instance, I think we're good. I think we're good. Getting there. The increased rows just feel so slow compared to the other rows, though. You've got to count like every stitch, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Increase. Oh, you got another ad. Wow, that's actually a bit too frequent. Let me look at this. I click the button. Okay, I've got a button to manually insert ads. And then oh, Leanne, Leanne, can you still hear the live when the ad runs? Let me know in the chat. See, there's a spot here that says delay ads, and I thought it might give me a countdown. If like there was an ad coming, so I could delay it, but it's like a 10-minute timer. Like if I'm gonna talk about something important that I don't want an ad intruding. I've got a spot for creating a highlight video too. I don't know what that means. I know what a stream marker is. Edit. Let me just go into monetization. I'm going to check these ads. Believe it or not, I chose what they call the conservative ad. Yeah, Louis took a little bit to settle there. And it's lower earnings potential, but less interrupted viewer experience. And then my next option was balanced, which is a balanced viewer experience, and then aggressive. But it's higher earnings potential, more interrupted viewer experience. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about it. It just feels that those two ads were placed quite close together. Oh, whoops, I stopped counting. Damn it. So that's 1, 2, 3. Slide. Okay. 4 and then 5. 1, 2, 3. I have to try and find a happy medium. I'm like, I just want like one extra ad. Do you know what I mean? Like an ad somewhere at the, you know. But Bianca, there was an issue, and it wasn't until I was already past the 1 hour mark that I realized I actually needed to go in and click something else to make it happen. So it was actually had no ads for the first half, like according to the system. So, like, will it end up being, say, 4 ads across 2 hours? I don't know the answer. That's what I was hoping to test today, and then I screwed it up. Unfortunately, that means I'll need to test it next week, now that I know how to set it up properly. Because I usually avoid ads in live streams like the plague. But there are those of you who are channel members who are like, I'm like, feel free to skip the ads. That's what the ad skippers is for. Okay. Sometimes the stitches look so similar, it's tricky to work out. There we go. Where you've done your increase, which isn't that cool? That's a cool thing. Slip, knit, increase. Not even halfway around. Oh. No, it doesn't skip the ads for you. It's just what I call that that tier, and I'm just like, feel free to click skip on the ads if you've done this, because you're paying your $1.50 or whatever it is a month. Like, have zero ad skipping guilt for skipping to the end. I'm okay to watch them. Leanne says I'm okay to watch mid-roll ads to a certain degree. My other friends who are using them goes too far. I'm catching a replay. Yeah, that's the thing. Like with YouTube, they give you very few options. So I've chosen the least intrusive version, and I feel that 2 ads in half an hour or an hour is probably a little intrusive because I'm not used to having them there. Bianca says, I thought you don't see any ads if you're a channel member. No. If you're a YouTube Premium member, you don't see any ads, but I don't see any of YouTube Premium. YouTube gets that. That's a viewer. That's a different thing. It's Been Girl says, I'm happy to watch ads on a replay or pre-recorded videos, but not during a live. I appreciate that feedback. I think I'm in about the same place. I'm not sure if I can. I think I can add. I'm going to go in and double check. I think I could make the live stream ad free and then add least interruptive viewers. But also, those of you that do watch YouTube and you go to a video and you see it's got like 8 red dots or something and you think, I don't want to watch 8 ads, that is 8 spots that you may be served an ad. And the chance of you being served ads in all of those spots is so low. So that's the other thing to keep in mind. Not just for my videos, but for everyone's videos. They're just positions that YouTube feel an ad could go into. It doesn't mean there is actually an ad there. 1, 2, 3. Slip. I'm up to the slip. It's not really a slip. It's something else, but that's what I'm calling it in my brain. And then I was actually like in a live stream where Renee Ritchie, who works for YouTube, was in as well. And he was talking about how just because one viewer will get 2 ads doesn't mean another viewer will get 2. They might get 4. They might get 1. Because each individual viewer also has There's a particular term for it that YouTube have given it. Okay, that's my 2 there. But like a point of, you'll accept that many ads before you get annoyed kind of thing. They've got a particular term for it and I can't think of what it is. But each viewer has this rating as well from YouTube's end, and they will serve your ads depending on that, because they also don't want you to leave the platform. Threshold, thank you. That's the word. That is exactly the word. And I don't know what that is. That's some stat that YouTube has. I don't have it or access to it. But YouTube, they work out, for this content creator, you're willing to put up with this many ads. For this content creator, you're willing to pull up with no ads. Bianca says I have a very low tolerance. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, I don't know what the deal is. I feel like that 2 for that amount of time just felt a lot. And I'm concerned about what obtrusive is. Like, if that's, do you know what I mean? Like, holy crap, if that is least obtrusive. Oh. Anyway. What I will do next week is we'll run one more test with ads during the stream, and then that will probably be the last test of ads during the stream, because I do want to test the whole stream and I want to see how many YouTube feel is low in like a 2-hour stream. Although admittedly, they don't know it's going to be a 2-hour stream. Like when you press go, you don't tell them, oh, I'm hoping to stream for 2 hours. They don't know that. So I'll be very curious to see the results of that. And I'm sorry, my guinea pig friends. But yeah, I like that suggestion, Knitspin Girls, of actually putting the ads on the replays. So we'll see how it goes. 1, 2, 3, and then on to this. Will we get this round completed before the stream is over? Unlikely. Unlikely. It is a newish stitch maneuver for me, so it doesn't feel second nature yet. It's getting there. I've done a few hundred of them now, just in this one top. Loopy Knots, it's good to see you. Go in there. We'll get there. Who knows, maybe by next week's stream I will have finished something else. I say, looking carefully, side-eyeing my little headband that could probably be finished in like a day. Yeah, it's all about supporting your favorite zone, and it's all good. And as you said, we can skip if we choose to. Yeah, if you're a channel member, like of any level, right? If you are a paid channel member and an ad comes up, just the second you can hit skip, just skip it. And zero guilt. That's part of being a channel member. But if you're not a channel member, like, just keep in mind that the only way that I make enough money to pay for cameras and audio gear and lighting and the internet that I have that's good enough to upload live streams with is through the money that I get from YouTube each month, which at the moment is currently sitting at around $100 a month. So, yeah, just, keep that a little bit in mind. Just, as you go to skip that ad. Oh, it's so soft. It's pure cotton. It's a soft cotton. It's lovely ply. It's Bendigo Woolen Mills cotton. I've reballed it, so that's not how they come. They come more like this. Oh, it's falling apart. But yes, they come more like that in a big 200-gram ball. Now I've made a mess. Get over there. But it is. It's very, very soft. It's very soft. 1, 2, 3. It's up to the time to do the thingy. There we go. Now, don't forget, today is the first Thursday of the month. If you are a local in the Brisbane-ish region, we will be meeting up at Caffeinated Crafters at Logan at IKEA. IKEA at Logan, I should say. We meet up at the back of the food court area around 6 p.m. We start to arrive. Well, I think some of the other girls arrive there a bit early, but I get there at around 6. This is Cotton Arctic from Bendigo. I don't know if it's still available. It's been a little old. But yeah, Leanne Burnt, like Leanne, super chatting. Go you. Or you can have fun with the super chat. Yes, you can. I want to have a party. Where's a party thing? Come on, party button. I don't even have a party button open. Where are my paddles? There's a paddle. There we go. We'll have that one. Have this one. If it works. There it is. There it worked. Yay! It only took 20 seconds to do something that should have taken 4 seconds. I can give that a heart and a thumbs up. No, I can't thumbs up that, but that is awesome. It has been a long time between super chats. Yeah, it has. It took me a little bit to find all the buttons. Oh dear, that's so funny. All right, look, I know we're at time. And we're well over, but I've just got to get to there. So if you're willing to hang out, I'm willing to keep streaming until I get to the end of my row. But I also know if you've got stuff you need to be doing, I get it. Let me know in the chat, do you have a project, a project that's been maybe a long-termy one for you that you're thinking you try and get it finished by the end of the year? It sounds like 6 months sounds like such a long time, but then, we find other projects and we find other things and, have you got something that you're like, you know what, I've had this on the go for a bit. It's time I finished it. It's time I sat down and got it done. No, come here. What did you do? Go behind it. There we go. No. There we go. Got to get your tongue just in the right spot. There we go. Knitspin Girl says, woohoo! Yeah, I don't think we have a woohoo. I don't think there's one in the list. What if, I don't know, you can check out what's in the list if you just go to LIST. There's some GIFs in there that you can go and fire off in the chat command list. Keep going. I'll get to the end of the row. I really didn't want to have to pull this back, and I'm really glad you guys helped me through that little bit, because the only reason I was going to pull it back is if it was going to mess up the shaping. Leanne says my Zoomy blanket. I think it's my oldest whip. I think so, Leanne. You went to all that effort to create the writing for us, and I'm just surprised that you haven't finished yours. So yeah, your Zoomy blanket. I think that'd be a great one to get done. I love my Zoomy blanket. Puppy Louie did gnaw through one of my squares, so I have to repair it. So it's put aside for now, but I can see it. Loopy Knot says, I think I'd need to unpack the needles. Knitting has been a great cope, and dealing with the stress of moving and not having calming projects is just making this move more uncomfortable. Oh my gosh. Yes, you need to have at least a little basic, simple project, even just in your handbag. That's one of the reasons why I got I wanted these project bags made up. That was the big inspiration, is I wanted just a little project that could just fit inside my standard handbag. I didn't want to have to carry a special tote or anything. But in this little bag is a 100-gram ball of sock yarn and a hat that I'm working on, the Musselburgh hat, and a tape measure and stitch markers and all the stuff that I need. But But yeah, I would absolutely need something simple, something mind calming. You love the pattern on my project bag. Oh, me too. So this bag is from the Crystal Cat Stitchery. This was a custom made bag. We're still giving feedback on the things that we love about it or don't love about it. But she does have this fabric for other project bags, so you can go and check that out. But yeah, I would have to have a project, even just something tiny and small that would just either sit in the glove box of my car or be in my handbag or something like that. I couldn't pack all of the craft away. I don't think my family would survive, actually, now that I think about it. I would not cope with the stress, and therefore I would share it. That's how I'm going to put that. I would share the stress in the not healthy way. Oh, we're nearly at the end. Increase round. That was 2 extra stitches I wasn't expecting. I'll have to go and do a count. I just do a couple of stitches there just to lock that in. We have our increase round all done. There are some wonderful project. There's so many. Finding your bag maker is what you need to do. Like, I love my bags from Emma. So over at not Widowmakers, Gamer Widows. I love the bags that she makes. The fabrics are awesome, and they're such a good size. But I did want to I like a zip as well, so I like to have options. So I love this because it's like fun fabric on the inside and fun fabric on the outside, like win-win-win. Kelly says, hang on, we'll go here. Kelly says, because I'm a YouTube premium person, does that mean you don't get any dosh from me when I watch? No, that's not how that works. With a YouTube premium viewer, it's actually, I get more dosh, depending on how active you are on YouTube. What they do is there's a calculation that they do from their end, and that dosh that you spend each month, there's a portion of that that's put aside for to be shared with creators. So YouTube take their bit, and then, like, say there's like, I don't know how much it costs. Say it's $30, right, for the month. I've no idea how much it is. I don't think it's that much, but we'll just use that number. $30 for the month. Say YouTube keep 20 of that. And then that other 10 is divided amongst whoever's videos you watch that month. So it could be more, it could be less. There's lots that goes into it, but technically speaking, I actually get more usually. Based off the stats that I see on my end, the number of views that you had YouTube Premium, it looks better to me. I personally have YouTube Premium, but that's because I actually hate ads. so I make sure I don't get any ads. The other thing is that means I don't pay for any other music streaming service because I use YouTube Music. So for me, it worked out really well. I know it's not the case for everybody, and some people are already invested in either Spotify and their playlists are all over there, or Apple Music or whatever it is. I get that. And then some people don't pay for any streaming services for their music at all. Totally understand. But like, for me personally, there would be a lot of other things I cancelled out of my discretionary spending. Because it is discretionary spending. It is extra budget. It's not a necessity. But there would be other things I would cut out well beforehand. Like, I would get rid of most of my other television streaming services first. Like, Disney would go, Paramount would go. Netflix would go. Prime. The two tough ones for me would be Amazon. Prime, Amazon Prime, and YouTube Premium. They're my two big ones. They'd be the hardest for me to give up. Either of those two. Sandy Dandy SL Adams. Is that how I say your name? Sandy Dandy Slurums. Can't say it. It's great to have you in the chat. We are just winding up. We're actually running over because I needed to finish my row. And now that Andor is over, I'm going to ditch Disney. Yeah, look, I had joined Disney for The Mandalorian. And then I stayed. And now I'm like, do I really want to stay? And then I'd planned to quit this year. And because we do the annual, I didn't get a notification that it was coming up or anything like that. Next thing you know, boom, annual amount taken out of the account. And I was just like, so now I've got a calendar note a week before then to decide, excuse me, do I want that this year or not? And cancel it. Vampire says, I have YouTube Premium for the family. We're using 5 out of the 6 accounts and we can connect to, so it is worth it. We've got the family as well. And there's only 3 in our family and it's still worth it. So yeah, if there's only 2, I don't know, it'd be a different story, but we've got 3 that sign into it. And I've given 1 to a friend to sign into so he can look at some stuff without the ads, like for research and stuff. So he's got 1, but yeah, it's and for me, because I have multiple accounts for like different work and stuff like that, so I've got a couple of them signed up, so I can kick them out if I need to. But yeah, it's for me, it's worth it. I don't know if it is for you. I really don't. It's an individual thing. Loopy says, I only ever paid for Hulu because of HMT, and now that it's all wrapped up, I'm waving goodbye again for a very long time. I'm like, there's a new series coming out because Jensen Ackles fan. So I want to check out the new series on CBS called Countdown, but I got to work out how I'm going to watch it in Australia. So because I don't have access to 10 All Access, which is I think it's a paid service in Australia, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, I have to have a look at it. Sandy says, my apologies for the name. Do you know how many Sandy Adamses there are out there? Sandy, did you know that you can go in and change your handle so you can still keep your unique channel and then just change your handle to just be whatever you want? You don't have to have it to be SLW Adams. It could be just anything. But you get to decide because your handle is different than your account name. So like Loopy Knots has possibly, got something else. I know that I had Fiberific Chantel Hills for a long time, just so because there was like some confusion happening. So I added my name in there. You don't need to apologize, but yeah, I get it. To try and get to get something original and empty, then yeah, you could even have Sandy Dandy Adams, or leave it as is, and people like me can just shut their big mouths. It's your call. It's totally your call. But yeah, we can all change our handles around if we want to. Oh no, you don't actually. I rephrase that. You don't want to change your handle. You want to change your display name. So your display name. So you need to Google how to change your YouTube display name. So yeah. I just go by Loopy Adams. But I just go by Loopy in general, lol. It fits a bit too well at times. Oh, there you go. John says that his username is Innerlogic, but his display name is John O'Brien. So yeah, and you can go in and change your display name. So if it's just something that you can change around as your mood changes. Or if you're a Halloweeny fan and you want to add in a whole pile of Halloweeny emojis, you could do that. That's by changing your display name. So sorry, not handles. You don't want to be messing with your handles, but you do want to change your display names. So yeah, bit of fun. You can do whatever you want. Next week I'm going to come in. Everyone's names are going to be different, aren't they? I'm not going to know anybody. It's going to be my own fault. That light doesn't look like it's on, but it is. Yeah. Vampy says, I don't use my name for YouTube, Twitch, or Discord. I use my gamer tag instead for privacy. Totally fine. Totally fine. And I understand that entirely. Bianca knows. Bianca knows that's what's going to happen. I'm going to come in here next week and there's going to be familiar faces in like, or familiar icons, but I'm not going to recognize any of the names because these are all evil. And you would do that just for the laugh. I've turned up to a Zoom meeting where everyone was upside down because they thought it was funny. I mean, it was funny. But yeah. On that note, my friends, I'm going to run away. Thank you so much for letting me test out this YouTube ad thing and me to realize I totally botched it up. And we are going to need to test it again next week. I'm so sorry. Those of you that are on YouTube Premium, you're never going to even notice what we're talking about. Oh, Amelia says, nah, we're going to change the icons too. Oh, no. Oh my gosh. Oh, sounds like my kind of shenanigans. Yeah, Loopy, like you definitely found the group that matches you here. Nitspin Girl says, I use my Ravelry name everywhere on the interwebs for privacy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You've got to think about that. Like, I use my name because I need to, right? It's something that it's a conscious decision that I need to do. We've got Fiberific here for this, and then we've got Chantel Hills for the other channel on how to, how to live stream and how to be on YouTube and all that sort of stuff. And it was a conscious decision of like, what do I do here? But you get to decide if you want to have your real human name out there in the world. You get to decide that. You get to choose. You get to decide if you want me to call you, like, and because I will always try to always call you by your hand, by what appears in front of me here. So like Kelly's going hard with the emojis. Thanks, Kelly. Sandy says, lol, went there too, still a frustration, trying to find the unique name. Thank you for your suggestions. I'll definitely give it a try. Yeah, so yeah, just go and check out for, so you want to be looking how to change your display name. So yeah, oh, Amelia's coming in with all the love as well. Come on, you guys. This is a great way to end a stream with all the happy faces. All right, I really got to go. I will catch you all here next week, and have fun, get some craft on, and I will catch you next time. Bye now.